Green flag, and we look to the gantry. We've got 3 lights, 4, 5. The sprint race in Baku is underway with a terrible start for the MPs. Mary has got off the line terribly, and straight up into the lead. From 4th goes Nicholas Latifi. He has bolted into the lead. A terrible getaway for both MP cars. Boschong is up to 2nd position, and the Carlins are racing each other. Norris and Camera, and it's Camera who sweeps around the outside. Nicely done from the Brazilian driver. Norris will want to come back immediately, and up into 5th place we've got George Russell, who has charged through. That is unbelievable. Oh, thinking for the move on 2nd place, and Camera, did he get it? He did. Brilliant Sergio said a Camera managed to make it work. He's up to 2nd position. Boschong down to 3rd. But what about that start from George Russell, who finds himself a man on a charge in 5th place as his teammate once again stalls on the grid. So back to the start. Watch the 2 cars on the front row. Watch the driver from 4th straight away. That was rapid stuff from Latifi.
I stole. What the f? I cannot. I went so slowly with the clutch. Honestly, this is ridiculous.
Well, you're hearing Aitken's opinion there. We heard from Gunther, Giotto and Aitken. He's saying it's ridiculous. Mary bogging down, and great reactions from Norris to get through. Latifi's already into the lead at this point, and we had drivers at the back, 5 stallers all in all.
Yeah, well, this is the issue that everyone seems to be having every time we're on the grid here. It's very frustrating for the guys because I think it's so unpredictable, and you don't actually know what bites you're going to get from the clutch at all. And sometimes I think if they're like a switch, they're just going from being pulled on the paddle, releasing, and it's just going straight into a stall mode.
Russell just weaving his way through. That is so difficult for a driver to react that quickly. You're just living on your instincts.
You are, but if you had a camera on the eyeballs of the drivers, you would see the amount of movement that would be going on with them, just looking for where the space is. But this is in milliseconds of it happening. So brilliant stuff there from George.
So, is Boschong going to still have DRS trying to defend? Because if he hasn't, it's going to be a done deal for Russell, and you can see how much he's hustling the car as they go onto the main straight.
Yeah, this is going to be seen if there is definitely no DRS. So this is George's chance. Round the outside, side by side. Now it's going to be under braking that's going to be so important.
And so he's taken 4th position. Here comes Norris on Latifi looking for 2nd, and Lando Norris makes it a Carlin 1-2 in this race. He's been setting the fastest lap. Latifi trying to respond. He will throw it to the inside of turn number 2. Does Norris know he's there? They're so close to contact, but they haven't made contact. We're on board with a Canadian driver who's got himself back up to 2nd. He's got Norris behind him, but for how much longer?
And this is great for George Russell as well. You got these 2 guys scrapping at it, and they're losing time. You see George right on the back end now and has joined this fight.
So Latifi had a bit of a scare, but managed to keep Lando Norris, the championship leader, behind. The McLaren junior development driver, of course, the official reserve who races with McLaren's orange patch on his overalls. Behind him, the young Mercedes development driver, George Russell. These guys do hours in the sim. Right now, in real life, when it counts in Formula 2, they're putting on a heck of a show for us. This is great stuff. And now, of course, not only the DRS for Norris, but for Russell as well.
Yeah, now this is going to be interesting. Coming off there, a little bit of a kick at the back of Lando Norris there. Nothing from George Russell. He's very, very close here. DRS is really going to be favourable for George as we go down to turn 1.
Russell and Norris absolutely still in the fight for this victory. When they've got clear air, these 2 are much faster than the 2 in front. Norris now having to defend from Russell, who comes to the inside line, and then he's got 3 wide. Latifi's got a problem. Can Russell make the move on both of them? Oh, will it be Norris to sweep around the outside? No! He's gone off the road and blown it. Lando Norris will drop out of the points. Nicholas Latifi holds on to 2nd place. I'm not sure how, but Norris blowing his chance of points today by going wide at turn 1.
Oh, completely there. Again, 3 abreast, trying to sort of have that slight edge going into turn 1 at all. Just outbraked himself. Didn't lock up, that was a good thing, but freed it off and was just carrying far too much speed.
So look at the toe they had. Nothing Latifi could do without DRS. I thought it might be Russell to the inside. It would have been bold. hold, but just not enough traction to make it work for Lando Norris.
No, and I think he tried to sort of keep himself out of trouble, because as they go down towards turn one here, George, I thought, was actually going to make the move. He had the momentum.
Heard him get out of it.
Yeah, but it's Latifi there, and I think now Lando just knew there were two cars on the inside and thought, hey, I'm going to get squeezed into the wall here. So he may have decided just to get out of the way. Brilliant racing.
Amazing three wide down this enormous straight. Wow, Baku every single time. That was for a major position in the race. This for second on the line. It's so dirty out there where George Russell is in the red and black car. Latifi in the navy sandwich in the middle. And Norris couldn't manage to get the car slowed down in time to drop himself out of the points. Disappointment for him. It elevates Boschung up to fourth place, to Vries up to fifth. We're going to do it again now, Johnny. We're back onto the main straight.
I think so, and it looks as if George Russell has a very good car underneath. I'm not quite sure he's going to be close enough as we go down towards turn one. He's going to have that DRS that will come into effect. So it all depends if he goes on the inside or the outside. I think for me, the outside seems to be the better situation to place the car, because you should be able to get the drive out of turn one towards turn two.
Here we go then. Latifi, can he defend?
Outside.
He's managed to do it time and time again.
Lovely
and
move.
George Russell goes up to second position. De Vries manages to take fourth away from Ralph Boschung. So De Vries and Russell, who came very close to each other yesterday, separated by only one car on the racetrack. So the battle for the lead is under a second, half a second between the Carlin ahead of the ART. Sergio Sene Camara ahead of George Russell. Sene Camara is not part of a Formula One development program, but George Russell absolutely is impressing Mercedes in front of them. They will be so impressed if he can make just one more position. But has he got the tyre life as he sweeps through the fast kinks at the end of the lap?
I love this, Alex, because you've got two mental battles going on here. One in front, one behind. George and Sete Camara there. He's got to be defending because he can see George getting closer and closer. George can't take any risk to get himself in trouble.
He's getting close. He's to the inside. He's to the inside. And George Russell's going to take the lead.
Beautiful.
He started 12th and now he's made the move to take the lead. Can Camara come back though?
Yes.
He has. And so the lead swaps twice in two corners.
And it might happen again.
The Brazilian driver took it away from Russell, who's trying to come back. He takes the inside line. Russell will be forced to the outside, and you can just see that top speed. He's not there, but he's locked up. Can he slow it down? He'll be wide. He'll be wide. And Russell's trying to come back. 4 corners into this lap. There's nothing between them. And he's nearly off the road with hardly any grip. This would be an unusual overtaking position. George Russell has somehow been denied. Masterful defensive driving, but how long can Camara keep it up?
I don't know, but he's doing very well so far, because he's just placing the car in the right place. He's braking right on the very edge as he goes into the corner. And to get away with it twice there. I don't know how close he was to that wall, but I think he kissed it twice.
He was really flustered in turns 3 and 4, but this is magnificent. If you're going to have a driver that you'd want in your car for Carlin to defend, remember how he repelled Markelov in the last race in Bahrain. Well, he has got a tough customer behind. You can see the movement.
George behind,
George, full commitment for him there. As they head into turn 15, we're about to do it all over again in a minute as they head back onto the main blast. 10 seconds on the throttle as they build up to 200 miles an hour, and that's not the best exit. Super vulnerable situation, but can Camara, I don't think he's going to be able to keep him behind. Can he place the car in a way to come back?
It definitely wasn't as clean as George is coming off at turn 16, and you can see that he's got the speed even before the DRS, which is now come into effect, and you can see the speed. Okay, Sete Camara going to the inside, but I think he's going to have the speed to pass him in. Yeah, there you go. Done.
So Russell has taken the lead, but he's looking left and he's looking right because he knows Camara might try and move back to the inside. But this time, I think George Russell's done it. First position belongs to him with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, I think that's a great move there from George. Really keeping it under control, under braking, not running wide in any shape or form, and getting the perfect drive off of turn 1 towards turn 2. And it looks as if, yeah, he's going to keep that gap, and he's not going to be under pressure for the rest of the lap.
And here comes George Russell. It was heartbreak yesterday for the Mercedes Junior driver, but he has responded in style from 12th on the grid to first at the end of the 21 laps. George Russell crosses the line to become an F2 winner with a storming drive ahead of Sergio Sene Camara, and Nick de Vries will just hang on. In third position, this is Latifi in fourth, and Norris, despite that moment at turn number 1, will recover to fifth. A winner with George Russell. That was a special drive.
That was classy. That is what we were expecting.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Yes! Woo-hoo! Oh, we made up for yesterday. Nice job, guys. Nice job.
I think he's happy.